I just love that intro. Hey, everybody, welcome back. It is time for episode 4 of Bourbon Blades.
Yep.
AI and the long goodbye. Not goodbye for us, but just goodbye for things that we've come to enjoy, things that we've come to love and appreciate that are just going out the window.
I really hope this episode's going to be as fun as it sounds. But
yeah, I mean, it sounds real depressing, but we just got a lot of things to cover, and things that have happened since our last episode, and things that we feel like are coming down the pipe.
Definitely
to disappear.
Yeah.
But first off, let's do a pocket check and a bottle check here. I'll start with the bottles, and then you can start with the pocket.
Sounds good.
So my birthday party,
which I missed.
He missed. He was
never
ill.
missed it, and I missed it this time because illness.
So it was Bourbon and Boots 27. I don't know which one we're on, but here's a picture of everything that was on the table. Yeah, a good time was had. So these are some of the leftovers, and Mr. Enzo here brought some of his collection with him as well. So tonight we're starting off with...
Oh my.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's very good.
Better than the internet said. We are starting off with this. This is the Wild Turkey Longbranch. And, after having a few sips, you find yourself saying, all right.
It brings out the inner McConaughey.
It does. But we'll get into that later. We've also got Chris Stapleton's Traveler. We've got the OG Buffalo Trace. Then we've got the tried and true Evan Williams Bottled and Bond.
So if you're a person after my own heart, you're on a tighter budget, that Bottled and Bond is great. I've said it before, and I still stand by it. It's good for the money.
It's awesome. And then his personal favorite, the High West Rendezvous.
So, more of a like
mid-tier.
Yeah, I don't know. It's an easy drinker. It drinks real easy.
Oh yeah. I thought we were still talking about money. Sorry. It is an easy drinker. So, what do you got in the pocket?
All right. Main blade today is the Hoplite mod, as I call it. It is a Dimco 80-20.5. I'm going to have a long goodbye about Dimco to say, but more of a personal goodbye.
Yeah.
No, I have very mixed feelings on this knife, and we'll get into it later, I guess. But is it a good knife? This one is good. This particular 80-20.5 is good. I had to do we can cuss. I had to do a shitload of work to make it good, and that I shouldn't have had to do. But a lot of aftermarket work done on this as well. Hoplite, named after the Greek warrior class. And I did some filing work on the spine that I'm really pleased with. 3V steel, enlarged and sharpening choil, and the scales are from Flytanium.
Scales are awesome.
And a Lynch Northwest deep carry clip. Yeah, I'm very happy with this knife now. Secondary blade is a Rough Rider Reserve Barlow. We've had a blast with Rough Rider lately.
We have.
And I have this urge to represent them now whenever I can.
Well, it's funny, when we first got in, when I first got into this and we went to Smoky Mountain Knife Works, it's like Rough Rider, oh, that's the cheap, we don't need to go over there. And now it's like, that's the first place I want to go.
Every time, first stop.
What do you got? What do you got?
Yeah.
So.
The last one up, back pocket. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, boy, I am having enunciation troubles tonight. That they've always got something cool in the pipeline, like that's the thing, and knowing that every time you go in, you're like, all right, let's see what's at the Rough Rider. Because of course, right now, we're both really looking forward to the Cinnamon Bone line.
Because that's the really cool thing that's coming down the pipeline.
Yeah. Not only that, do you remember the fat bottom doctor's knife?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a big one for me. Anyway, back pocket in Joe from Lancelot Leather's clip slip here. It is the, hey Joe, it is the, if he's watching, who knows? It's a case. I was about to say cold steel. Not a cold steel. Nope. This is a case knife. The Stockman in Kinfolk Jig Emerald Green Bone. Wow. Got it all out.
That's a lot of words.
Yeah. I've done a little bit of refinishing on this. I did a satin hand rub on the bolsters, satin hand rub on the blades. It is super sharp right now because I just sharpened it. And love this knife. I don't know. There was a master at work on this one. There's no gaps in the back back springs. The action's very nice. Yeah, it's a crisp knife. Really like it.
What's the third blade on that one?
This one back here,
Yeah.
it's a spay.
Oh, okay.
It's a very kind of an odd spay, but yeah, it's a spay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. What lovely knife. I really love this knife. You, sir, what you got today?
My turn. All right, we'll go with main carry today was the Kaiser Quatch.
Nice.
That Doc design. And I guess another good buy almost. This is an N690. Have y'all ever heard of that? It was there for a short period of time, and then people stopped using it. So, and I don't know why. This thing holds an edge like none other.
Does it?
And I'm so
I don't
thankful.
have any experience with N690.
Well, this and the Doman are both N690.
Okay. Yeah,
And-
Kaiser was on. Yeah, they were on it for a bit.
Yeah, then they switched over. I don't know. So that was main carry. Kind of secondary carry in my MKM slip here
Nice.
is my Spades Capital M turn. That's a Rough Rider. I had a video on that recently.
Yes.
So once again, we're hyping up the Rough Rider. That is the match strike pull, correct?
Yeah, yes, sir.
I'm learning. You got your main blade and then a pin blade. So right there,
Nice.
that wonderful black dyed Appaloosa.
Black
bone.
Appaloosa, man. Yeah.
So I've been really digging this magnetic clip here. It's helped out a lot at work, and or just keeping it from fumbling around. That pocket granola, as Zach once said. So third carry, and I didn't actually carry this today because if I carried it at work, people would look at me really strange. But I did put it in my pocket as soon as I got home. That way I felt like I carried it today.
Sure, yeah.
And he hasn't seen it since I purchased it. But this is the Condor Pterosaur.
Oh, yes. Hang on.
There
Oh,
we go.
my goodness. Look at that. Oh, that feels great in
It
hand.
does feel great in hand.
Oh, my gosh.
Don't think it's out yet. There's a part 2 or it could be part 3. I'm not sure which it is that this knife is in from our tour at Smoky Mountain Knife Works. I did play with this one.
Dude,
got
I
it
just
in
want to
hand.
bust some shit up with this
Right?
thing.
It feels great, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Just go at some wood, man. Yeah, this thing feels awesome. Do some batoning with this thing. Dude.
So I had to pick it up. I had to. After we played with it, I was like, I got to get it. I got to get it. I think
Nice.
I've got one more thing, and that is our poker chip.
Oh, I forgot about the poker chip. Hold on. Hang on.
Oh, I've got 2 more things. That's right.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
Poker
so
chips.
The new Knox Knife Mod poker chips.
If you're going to be at Blade Show, we have a few of these.
Yeah, we'll have a bunch.
Well,
by
yeah,
then.
we'll have them. So
Yeah.
please stop. I don't know how much of a following we have, but if
you see us-
if you see us and you want a poker chip, just say hi. We'll give you
We'll
one.
get you a poker chip.
Yeah.
And that's Blade Show Atlanta, not Texas. That's
Yeah.
going on, or that just happened. So
Right.
that didn't count. And then one other thing I've got, this I did carry today. I carry this most days now, is my Forrest
yeah.
Hanks Hank.
That thing's
Right
dope.
there. The Skull and Roses.
I guess I'll show off my bandana, I suppose. This one's actually kind of cool,
Okay.
but not as cool as that. Forest work is really nice.
EDC roundtable.com. 10% off. Use code Knox.
Yes, glad you remembered that. Yeah, please do that, guys, because we would love to send people over there to support EDC Roundtable. They got so many cool vendors over there. This is an Avett Brothers bandana that I got several years ago. Scott Avett did the design. If you're familiar with the Avett Brothers, you may agree with me that I've kind of given them a long goodbye. They're not the same band they used to be, and they started off, much more rugged and kind of down home bluegrass rock almost. It was one of a kind music, and it's been really commercialized.
Yeah.
So it's sad and unfortunate, but I'm sure they're wonderful people. I have to say goodbye to the music, I think.
Sometimes people just follow the money.
Yeah, well, and, can you blame them?
No.
If I was in those shoes, I think I would do the same thing.
Yeah. Well, it's like Anthony Oliver. He was like, I don't want your money.
Yeah.
He was kind of I don't want to say a pillar or cornerstone for that, but he was one of the first people that I know of that he was like, hey, here's $8 million. And he said, no, thanks.
Yeah. It was wild.
That was wild.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Do you mind if I throw one thing in?
Yeah.
Real fast, very quickly. I got a video coming on this, not soon, but it's just going to happen eventually. This is a watch I've really been wanting to do a video on. This is a quick wrist check. The Belova Moonview. This is a reinterpretation of a watch that was made in the 60s that was issued to the pilots of the SR-71. Really cool watch. Not this one specifically, the old school one.
Oh, okay.
Old school one had a turning GMT bezel. Now, last year, they reissued that watch, and they wanted, it was a faithful reissue, not like this. Yeah. This is a reinterpretation. The reissue, they wanted about $2,300 for it. Now, to me, this reinterpretation is a beautiful watch. It looks like the old school one.
2,300 exactly?
I think it was like 2,100 or something. Or why do you say that?
That was the top speed of the SR-70.
Oh, well, maybe that might be it.
Yeah.
That might be the connection. The reason I want to make a video on this watch is that you can still get these. They're about $100 used, maybe.
That one?
Yes. Now, this is one of those ones that's kind of, it's like a wave. Okay. Sometimes you'll see it at the trough. Sometimes you'll see it at the crest. At the crest, it's like 500. In the trough, it's like 100. I got this one for 100.
Now, for lay people like me,
yeah,
where do you get used?
Oh, eBay.
I hate eBay.
I
get burned on eBay.
I'm very careful with eBay, and the items I'm going to purchase, I go over them with a fine tooth comb. Yeah. But anyway, I just want to shout this out. Look out for this. If you're a watch person, look out for this video, because I want people to know about this watch, because it looks just as cool as the old school one. It doesn't have all the functionality, great, but yeah, it's a hell of a lot cheaper than $2,300.
I've got the Fossil FE5.
Nice.
It's not fancy. I mean,
the smartwatch.
I feel like James Bond. If the phone rings, I can answer it and be like, "Go ahead, Moneypenny." And I can answer text messages. I've got quick commands, or it actually pulls up a full keyboard, and I can actually type on it.
Nice.
Send full sentences. When I play disc golf, it shows me how far away I am from the basket.
That's pretty cool.
So it's got a finder because I use the UDisc app. So yeah. Again, yours is a lot more fancy. I wish I could get into watches, but I feel like that's a black hole.
No, you know what Nick Shabazz says?
Don't do it.
Do not get into watches. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Just don't do it. Mm-mm. If you're not in the black hole, don't look into the black hole. I've gotten to the point, I don't want to get on watches too long because we got more important stuff, but I will say real fast, I've gotten to the point where I'm not buying any watches right now, and I'm probably going to let some go. But anyway.
I've got one, and I say it differently. What did you call that?
With the name of it? Mm-hmm. It's did I say Bulova?
Yeah.
The Bulova, yeah. Bulova Moon View.
Bulova. I do have a Bulova on.
You're going to say Bulova?
Yes.
So this is the thing. There's a YouTuber, the Urban Gentry. He's English, and he says Bulova.
Bulova.
But he's very good friends with Mark from Long Island Watch, and Mark's always like, it's Bulova. Bulova. And oh God, the guy from TGV, he's always like Bulova.
I guess I fall into that category, the Bulova. I've got one of my Amazon carts.
Yeah, is it the diver?
It's the Marine.
Yeah, the Marine Star.
Marine Star.
Yeah, it's a cool watch.
I just never pulled the trigger. So I've seen it as low as like $285. I've seen it as high as like $600.
Yeah.
So I'm like, anyway. Moving on.
Yeah. Plowing ahead.
We're going to do the AI first. I feel like we can go through that a little bit faster than the kind of the long goodbyes.
Sure.
AI. Holy shit.
I didn't want to. You opened this can of worms. I'm going to let you.
I didn't open this can of worms. Off. Google did.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Yeah. You hear they lost a buttload of stock.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Buttload of stock. And the I'm going to say it. So if you've seen the Ben Shapiro video, or actually there were a bunch of other videos that followed that where people thought Ben was lying, so they went
and they did it themselves.
They did it themselves, and it showed the exact same thing. So whether you like Ben Shapiro or not, he was telling the truth. So it was interesting. You know, he would say, "Show me a picture of a white American family," and Google would say, "I can't. That's racist."
Yeah, but then, and you would search for any other family type, and it would come right up.
Yep.
And it's just like, hey,
I'm gonna link that video in the YouTube version of this.
Sure.
For people to watch the Ben Shapiro
video. Just because it's not, regardless of what your feelings are on what side of the political aisle that you're on. I mean, the video is just showing the facts of what happened. It's pretty wild.
Scary.
Yeah. Yes.
That things that we think we know and things that we've been taught will just be
erased. Yeah.
Because AI is like, nah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It was like, for example, the biggest one to me was like, present me an image of the founding fathers, and none of them were white, and it was just like that.
Yep.
You know. Okay. That's not good.
Show me the 16th century French king.
Yeah.
I know who that was.
Yeah.
He was not black. So just some of the things that came out of that were very interesting. Now, Google has since, it was like 4 or 5 days later, apologized. They did do a informal apology that there was some issues in their coding.
Oh, yeah, I don't buy that.
So there may be different images now if you actually ask it to do something. But one thing about the internet is once it's on the internet, it's on the internet.
Right, yeah.
It's kind of hard to go back from that. So in the same topic of AI, there's some very interesting things happening with the Apple VR.
Yeah.
And as a fan of Ernest Cline, one of my favorite novels and least favorite books, or movies, sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say, wait a minute.
Least favorite movies is Ready Player One. I got that book when it first came out. I read it, fell in love with it, read it several times just to make sure I didn't miss anything. And that book is amazing. Then a movie came out, I think in 2018. I saw it once and was pissed. And I didn't watch it again until about a week ago.
Oh, wow.
So I watched it again for a second time. And I tried to watch it and I tried to watch it and say, I haven't read the book. I was trying to watch it with trying my damnedest to watch it with an open mind. And if I could get around, I haven't read the book, the movie's okay. It's still not great. It's not great in comparison to the book, but it's okay.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
That's how I feel about the Hobbit movies.
God.
I just go to a world where I didn't read the book.
I didn't read the book. It wasn't the first book I ever read. No.
I go to a world where, you know what? I just need fantasy related entertainment right now.
Yeah.
And I can watch those movies. And they can be entertaining as just pulp entertainment.
These are just trash. Sorry.
I'm not even saying it. I'm not even saying it to be to upset you. I'm just that's just how I feel now. But anyway, we'll move on from that. I don't want to keep.
Hobbit was one of the first books I read, and was so proud of myself because I was in elementary school.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to read a big person book. Like, I was so excited. And then Lord of the Rings came out later, and I ended up reading Lord of the Rings, and then the Hobbit movies come out. And I'm just like, that was a goodbye. That was a goodbye.
Yeah. So absolutely, they're horribly made.
Yeah,
100%.
The Goblin Cleaver.
My argument is, if you just if you say to yourself, I just need entertainment. I just need pulp. Look, because here's the problem. There's not a lot of good fantasy style movies out there. There's just not.
No.
Lord of the Rings is the best. And so if you just need that, then and you just pretend like, you know what, this isn't The Hobbit. That's not what it is. Then it can be entertaining. Yeah. So anyway.
So Apple with the VR
yes.
and Disney with the multi-directional...
The Omnifloor or whatever.
Where you can be walking in any direction.
Yeah.
And you'll stay in place. And you can connect two sets. And both of you, or two people, he and I could be on the same pad walking in different directions and not moving. I'm less terrified of that than I am
very terrified of
the
that.
AI, because sign me up. Let's go to the Oasis. Let me just rule that thing, because I guarantee you I will have a fucking Gundam in the Oasis.
That's pretty good.
And
see, to me, I could picture myself doing like an Elder Scrolls, you know, just in whatever country they choose to do next, whether it's Hammerfell or whatever, and just being a freaking warrior.
It's supposed to be Hammerfell.
Well, if it ever happens.
Goodbye. Yeah.
But no, I mean, I see your point, and the opportunity to and that's the whole appeal of video games, really, is I guess escaping from the reality you're in. Yeah. To me, like, my only hesitation is that I find that I don't have a whole lot of time to play, but when I was younger and I had more time, I would spend way too much time doing it. And I just feel like having a controller in your hand and looking at a television screen, you're in your own room, you know what I mean? That level of separation is about as much separation as that's what I need. I need a level of separation.
Yeah.
If I have a headset on and I can move about and there's nothing hindering me moving and that just freaks me out. I just think it's too overwhelming. It's too possessive of your senses, I guess is a way to say it. So that's what gives me hesitation.
Just a sensory overload.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
but I'm really good at Fortnite. And the thought of like playing Fortnite in a VR on an omnidirectional pad, I'd do it.
I'm gonna be, if you're gonna get it, to me, I think my philosophy is be friends with the person that has the stuff.
Yeah.
it's like a boat.
Oh, I'm married. I'm not kidding. I'm just saying, I'm trying to look for that person that has, we'll go in together.
Well, it'll be my dad. He'll be the one.
That's a valid point.
Yeah.
Bill?
He doesn't watch these.
We're coming over. So no, I'm actually intrigued by those two things. I'm less intrigued by the whole AI thing.
Yeah.
Especially because I don't subscribe to
ChatGPT.
What he said.
Yeah. I don't use it either.
I don't know the letters. So but I know people at my work that have used it for things and asked it questions like make up a poem about the place I work, and it would be like, give me characteristics, and they would say things, and then it made up a whole limerick of our job, and it was pretty close to what we do. And so it's interesting in that sense, but it's also less interesting in the fact that anything can be made up. The old TV show with Drew Carey, Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Whose Line,
everything's made up and the points don't matter. I feel like that's going to be the next kind of wave of history of everything's made up and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because we can just tell the AI or the chat GBT.
Yes, you got it.
To just say what it is.
It's not going to be far off, man. I mean, just it's improving so fast. Yeah. It's like an exponential rate, and so it's just very soon.
Where are our flying cars? That's all I'm asking.
What frightens me, obviously, AI just frightens me in general.
Yeah.
But from an artistic standpoint, and I say this as somebody that used Midjourney, and I still kind of like Midjourney. It's fun to play with, but I'm a big metal head, and I've seen a lot of metal bands lately. For metal bands, album artwork is extremely important.
Yeah.
Usually. Not everybody, but usually it's pretty important. And some metal bands have chosen to use AI-generated art, and there's been a huge backlash against those bands, which I think is appropriate because the artistry behind heavy metal album covers is it's like a little subculture,
Yeah.
And having to witness people that have a history of doing it and just suddenly get replaced by
AI telling it what you want. It takes 10 seconds and it makes it.
Well, exactly. Yeah.
Now, what was the thing we used there? There was some AI program.
Midjourney.
Was it Midjourney?
Yeah.
I didn't realize it wasn't free, and
it was at the time. It was. Now it's not.
Well, it's like you got 5 tries.
Yes, you had I think you had like 10 runs, and then it capped you off.
I only got 2 out of it because I screwed it up.
That sucks.
Yeah.
How'd you screw it up?
I didn't follow the directions.
Oh, okay. I got you. Okay.
That happens. Anything else on AI? Disney?
I don't know.
Disney sucks.
Well, I think Bob Iger's starting to see the mistakes of Disney's recent past and who they're trying to appeal to.
So, I'll tell you this. They're going to change the rating of Mary Poppins, the original Mary Poppins.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Did you not see that headline?
Nah, I didn't. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, it's Mary Poppins is racist. So they're changing the rating of it, and they're putting a trigger warning at the beginning.
What's the supposed racist scene? Do you know?
Yeah, it's something along the lines of when they're dancing, and there's a song in the lyric, or there's a lyric in the song that speaks ill of other people.
Oh, okay.
When I saw it 30 years ago,
We watched it all the time when I was in school.
yeah. Now you want to talk about a mind trip? Go watch Dumbo, the original.
Yeah.
Dumbo.
Oh my God. I watched that with for some reason showing it to the kids, and I was like, this movie.
These people were on acid.
Yeah, this movie's nuts, man. And I'm like, we can't. Like, I don't want my kids to see this movie. It's it's so trippy.
Yeah. Pinocchio, the
original
8-year-old
Pinocchio,
boys
man,
are drinking beer and smoking cigars.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them are a little weird, but it's fine.
I mean, no. It's just funny to me that we've gone from that, which I'm not saying like that's perfect because it's not,
No.
but to go from that extreme to this extreme we're at now, where it's just like it's a complete snapped neck.
Yeah.
Oh man.
All right. Well, before we get too far in a rabbit hole and everyone unsubscribes, I'm going to move on to history of the pour.
Yeah.
Of what we're kind of what I wanted to highlight tonight, and that is wild turkey, and more specifically Longbranch, because I did receive this for my birthday from a couple that came and joined us. I hadn't had this one before. I've had the original, the 81, and I've had the 101.
Yes.
Which is the classic. 81 is still the best seller because it was been the longest running of the brand, but 101 is going to overtake it eventually. So many different bottles and blends. They've got rye, they've got the rare breed, they've got the master distiller, they've got the Kentucky spirits, and then Matthew McConaughey and master distiller Russell, also part of Russell Reserve. So master distiller Russell and master drinker Matthew McConaughey got together and made this. This is a wild turkey filtered with mesquite, Texas mesquite charcoal. So it gives it that kind of sweet, smoky flavor that goes along with it. And despite what the internet says, it's great.
Yeah, I think it's quite tasty.
I've read a lot of reviews where people are like, no, it's trash, stick with 101. 101's great too.
I think they're both good. I mean, it's like
really good.
You're not going to go wrong either way.
No.
And for that to be what you said,
$5 more.
Yeah, I mean, come on, they're both great.
Yeah. I can't imagine people just shitting on it because it's Matthew McConaughey. Putting it side by side, if we're doing celebrity to celebrity, this is Matthew McConaughey. This is Chris Stapleton. I now know why people are shitting on this one. Is because,
I don't know if I just finished my pour of that.
Yeah.
Underwhelming.
Well, it's underwhelming because I don't think it's any better than the original Buffalo Trace.
Yeah, I think the original Buffalo Trace is better.
Yeah. And it's $10, $12 cheaper than...
I'm going to just do it.
The original is $10 to $12 cheaper than this. And so apparently people are upset about this because Chris Stapleton's been sober for 15 plus years, so he didn't actually pick this out himself. Some PR person did, and they just slapped his name on it. So I think that's what most people are upset about. But Matthew McConaughey was a part of this.
Right.
And has stock in the company.
Oh, yeah. He's invested in that company.
So, but the history of the pour for this, 1940, a gentleman, an executive, was on a hunting trip and had this just brown liquid in his pocket.
I prefer that.
Yeah, just had this brown liquid in his pocket.
Okay.
And they were hunting turkey.
Okay.
And so the men in his group said, hey, hand me some of that wild turkey liquid you got. And 2 years later, it became a brand. So wild turkey was just from a couple of hunting buddies out in the forest shooting some turkey.
Nice.
So
it's a good origin story.
Good. That's a great origin story. You don't get much better than that. So Thomas McCarthy, that was the name I couldn't remember. Nice. So moving on. So the long goodbyes.
Yes.
Man, I got to tell you, when COVID hit, we don't say the C word here very often. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
I had many passions that ended because we weren't allowed to go outside because it was scary.
Yeah.
So I turned to YouTube.
Yeah.
And you pointed me in the direction of a lot of great YouTube channels. One of them specifically was BladeHQ.
God, dude, that was when BladeHQ was just on fire.
They were on top, and
we had Ben on board. We had Zach. We had the bearded fella,
Jamie.
Jamie, but also the other bearded
Kurt,
fella,
the Viking.
Kurt. Yeah. All gone now.
All gone. all gone. And even more so, now Ben Peterson is still...
Oh yeah, he's still involved
going.
in the EDC world. Yeah, of
He's
course.
got
Everybody
some new
knows
knives out. He was at Blade Show Atlanta this weekend.
Blade Show Texas.
Blade Show Texas, sorry, this weekend with his new knife with Civivi. It's called the...
Yeah, Johnny's got some of those.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, I got to check one out the last time I was over there.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know they were that new, or I would have told
Cindy?
you. Yep.
Yeah.
And it's pretty nifty. It's pretty cool. I was tempted to get one.
It looks pretty good. I haven't had a chance to get with one yet, or play with one yet. But Zach posted probably 3 weeks ago now a video, like a goodbye video on his YouTube channel that he's done.
Short and sweet.
Short and sweet.
Yeah.
He's like, we're done with social media. He said he may or may not come to Blade Show in Atlanta. But if he does, come say hi, because he's just not doing it anymore. He's got other things going, and social media is just no longer a priority. If
I can speculate a bit, I think that his and Jamie's goal was to be able to have a full-time gig just doing YouTube, which is, extraordinarily hard to do.
Yeah.
And not that I think they deserved it, because they put out some great content. The problem, though, is that knife YouTube and EDC YouTube is just such a small, slice of that pie.
Yeah.
That even if you're a popular channel,
Well, I think he had a great following, though.
They had they had over 100K subs.
Yeah.
But even with 100K subs, I mean, you're just not going to make much money, unless you do Patreon. I don't know if he was doing that, but
I don't know.
I can see coming to a point where you're just like, man, I feel like I'm just, if that's what you're counting on to work out, I can see that being a struggle for sure.
But I just remember, BladeHQ has fallen.
Oh,
so
yeah. Oh,
far.
my God. Yeah.
I don't even really watch
And,
BladeHQ anymore.
nothing against anybody that's running that social media team now. I feel like they kind of had to...
they had to adapt.
Yeah, they had to adapt. And because it's like, but it makes you wonder what happened that all those, that original lineup just took off.
You had people that were so great, and that channel just blew up, especially during COVID, because everyone was sitting at home needing something to watch.
Yeah.
They were such a instrumental part of what made that go the way it did.
Yeah.
And, now they're all gone, and they're just like, we're not doing social media anymore. So, peace out. I even emailed Zach last year and a half ago, and he responded.
Yeah.
And, that's great that he was that in touch with his fan base and with other collectors. So, I'm going to miss that. I hope he comes to Atlanta, and I hope we actually get to meet him in person.
It would be
I'm going to give him a poker chip. I'm going to try to give him a hug. I don't know. I don't hug that many people. I feel like I need to hug him. But,
I got to say real fast, if y'all check out one video from BladeHQ, actually there's a couple of really good ones. One of my favorite ones that they did, it was Ben and Zach and Jamie. And I think Kurt might have been in this one, but they went on this big hike, and they were trying to find, somebody had buried a supposed buried treasure that somebody had listed on Reddit, and it was in the middle of Utah, of course, where BladeHQ is based.
Yeah.
And they put the coordinates on Reddit, and Ben was like, dude, we gotta go and check this out. Let's make a video out of it. We'll bring some knives along, And that was the style and the attitude of that group back then. Yeah. They would do stuff like that. They would have these big, adventure style videos. And it's a fun video. I can't remember the name of it, but it would have been about 3 or 4 years ago.
4 years ago.
Yeah.
4 years ago now, yeah.
Pretty much any of the content from that period, that was fantastic. But they got all the way to, the item was buried in the middle of an island, in the middle of a frozen lake. And when they got to the frozen lake, they all had these inflatable rafts and like ducks and shit that they just went like sliding out on the ice. It was fantastic. But anyway, yeah, that was the golden age.
The golden age
of BladeHQ, and know how far we have fallen.
I'm still subscribed to them. I still see their videos come up.
Yeah.
But I never watch them.
I don't either.
I watch DCA.
Yeah,
and I watch
DCA is my probably my go-to now for just new stuff.
New stuff. And I watch Smoky Mountain Knife Works.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it.
Yeah. It's funny because they kind of went. Smoky Mountain Knife Works is coming up now as they're going down. Knife Center went went up real quick. DCA is just a great host, I feel like.
Yeah. It's funny. He's so monotone.
Yeah, but there's something about him that's
everything. But he's he makes it interesting.
Yeah. He's very relaxed.
He's very relaxed.
I feel like he's your chill uncle, man. You know.
Yeah.
And
that's good. Yeah.
it's like, hey guys, we're going to talk about some knives and see what knives I got in the big old freaking meat hooks today.
Yeah.
No, DCA stuff is great. And so is Smoky Mountain Knife Works.
Hands. Yeah. No, TC. I like TC.
Yeah, TC's good. Honestly, some of my favorite Smoky Mountain Knife Works is when they have the dude from, I can't remember his name, but the sales rep from Case. Those are always fun episodes.
Yeah.
Because you get a real good look at what Case has coming. But yeah, hopefully, I don't know. We'll see what Zach has in the future. Maybe he'll do something. Maybe he won't. I mean, you say he's pretty much quitting social media in general.
Yeah, that's what he said. Well, he watched the whole video, and one of the last videos that he did prior to that one, he actually showcased a Rough Rider that I own, and it's the Old Southwest canoe. And I was like, I have that knife, and he carried it in this exact MKM magnetic pouch. And he's the reason I bought this. And BladeHQ had it. After his video went live, they put this on sale. It was normally like $40. They put it on sale for $21.
It's a steal.
And so I was like, oh shit. And so I went and bought it because it was half off.
Yeah.
And then they were sold out within a few hours. But that's the power that Zach had.
Yeah, sure.
Is he would be like, you need to buy this. And we all flocked and bought it.
Right. And so just to return to that point I made earlier about like sub count and like how it doesn't necessarily translate, like Nick Shabazz has said several times, and he's got, well over 100,000 subs now. And he stepped away. He's kind of stepped away.
He actually posted a video this week.
Yeah, I know. And dude, if he posts a video, I'm always like, yes, let's go.
Yeah.
No, but he stepped back quite a lot. But he said, he's always said that, I don't make anything off YouTube.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting for somebody like us that has really small channels to hear that these big major channels are like, yeah, we don't make any money. We don't do this out of a plan to make money. We just do it for fun.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if we made money. But
we enjoy hanging out. We enjoy having a beverage.
Right.
And, and we enjoy boring you all. So
it's eye-opening to me is all I'm saying. It's eye-opening to see these large channels and just kind of...
Just say, there's no money here.
Great.
Anything else on BladeHQ downfall?
Nah.
Have you watched any of the Blade Show Texas videos from either?
I haven't. I don't know what. I haven't been. I'm always in the knife space one way or the other. Yeah. I haven't really been on the cutting edge stuff lately. I've been into modding lately, so I haven't really kept up. Has anything excited you?
No. And that's the issue I'm having is I've watched all the Blade Show Texas videos that DCA and TC have put out. Mm-hmm. And there's just been nothing. There's been one kind of QSP knife that I've been like, okay. But all the rest of them, they just look the same. I'm waiting for something new. I'm waiting for something to just be like, that's the one. Yeah. I need to go get that. And I didn't get that from Blade Show Texas.
Okay.
So I'm hoping that there's other things coming because I'm pretty sure Atlanta's the bigger.
Oh yeah, Atlanta's the big one. Atlanta's the show.
So I'm hoping that when we get
all
to
the new
Atlanta,
stuff's going to be at Atlanta. Yeah.
I know I'm going to Midgard. I'm trying to save up.
Dude.
I'm trying to save up enough money between now and then to be able to go to that Midgard table and be like, take my money.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah. That's a good point. I don't know. I honestly don't know what I'm thinking. I really want a Wii Wrecker. I've been wanting that knife since.
Is that out yet?
It's out, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And fortunately, they're not they didn't get swamped. So I mean, you can get them on eBay right now, MSRP. So which isn't bad. I think it's like $216, and that's for a full titanium 20 CV.
I remember you talking about that one, but I never saw them put out like a.
They didn't
Here
hype
it is.
Yeah, they didn't hype it. It was designed by Viking Tactical or something, who I'm not familiar with, but apparently there's some kind of, I don't know what they are, but they have a reputation. And I love the design of the knife. It kind of has this Grimsmo-esque thing going on, not to the point where you're like, oh, that looks like a Norseman. No, I mean, but it just has that vibe.
Yeah.
I might see if there's a Wii Wrecker down there. Honestly, my budget these days is very tight, so I'd love to save up for a Midgard.
Well, it's late February. We got about 4 months.
Yeah,
to start
there's plenty of
saving.
time.
Yeah.
Plenty of time. So I might think about it. I don't know.
I'm gonna try. My goal is to save, and because my birthday is over, I don't have to purchase anything else for a while. Or at least I'm going to try not to purchase anything else for a while. I'm going to try to save between $300 and $400. There's a couple of mid guards that I saw that I'd like to own. So,
like the Dvalin.
That's a Booker.
No, they have their own Dvalin.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, like the full duress Dvalin.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, it's like full titanium. With the Boker's G10 and steel.
Well, right.
Yeah, so the mid-guard version is titanium, like a full-on.
I didn't see that.
So there's that, and then of course there's their other, like the Viking and other ones.
No, they've got some massive.
Oh yeah, they got some monsters.
Knives.
Yeah.
They come with a massive price tag, but I'll be looking at them. They've got that one that's like a, oh gosh, what's the name? It's like a folding
Oh, the sword.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it.
Oh gosh,
I think
it's so
nuts.
cool. Yeah.
Ooh, one I am excited about. The CRKT Mini Ritual. I am excited about that.
Really?
I want it.
Really?
Yes.
Now, do you want the Damascus one or the?
I want the Damascus one. I want the crazy one, but I can't afford that one. I think the price is too high because when the original Ritual came out, it was like $80-something, and it's a bigger knife.
Yeah. Well, the steel was different.
It was 12C27. I don't know what the steel is on the new one. Do you know?
No, not off the top of my head.
Okay. If the steel's different,
with it being Damascus. And,
well, sure, that one, yes. But even the standard one is 110, I think, or 120. So, for a smaller knife, I'm like, but still, I just like the look of it. If I was to get one, though, I would want the higher end one.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
Well, long goodbyes. I'm going to let you kind of take over this one. I think you know this one better than I do. Video games.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And just saying goodbye to the way it used to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
You brought it up once before that we didn't know it was the good old days.
Yeah, the era of, sitting on the couch with your buddies playing games it's been gone for a long time.
Yeah.
So I play a little bit. I don't have a whole lot of time to play now. I do just try to keep up to date with what's happening though. And my favorite podcast, Resonant Arc, State of the Arc, they recently did a video where they were discussing the highly speculated crash of the video game market. A lot of people are making the argument that the AAA kind of industry can't sustain itself and that this bubble's going to eventually burst. Because the idea is all of these companies are asking you to pay $70 for their product, but a lot of the time their product doesn't deliver on what's expected for a fully priced game. In my opinion, prime example of this is Starfield. I played Starfield and I've heard the argument made, oh, well, you got to get past the first 12 hours. I don't have 12 hours to be unhappy, okay? I don't have that. I don't have that. I need the dopamine hit like right away. That's how my life is, okay? That's why I play games, because I can only play for like an hour at a time.
Well, and that's why I play things like Fortnite, because I can jump in, I can play 2 or 3 matches,
have fun,
and then go to bed.
And you're out. And so to me, I play mostly RPGs, but like I'm playing Final Fantasy 16 right now, and boy, from the minute I started that game, it was like, are you fucking ready? Because we're going to have a good time.
Oh, you showed me the intro.
Yeah, well, not a good time in the sense that the game is very depressing, but you're going to be blown away. That game is, man, from the moment you start that game, it's just like fucking hold on. And
disclaimer, PS5, Xbox One.
Yes.
So I can't play that game.
Unfortunately. So it's been interesting to kind of see how this is going to shake. It's going to be interesting to see how this is going to shake out. But Starfield in particular, I played that game, and we're both big Bethesda fans.
Yeah.
Big Elder Scrolls fans. I mean, Elder Scrolls probably more my favorite than Final Fantasy is.
Definitely mine.
Yeah. So. And so I actually was making a meme about my gaming cycle, and it's a triangle. At the top is Skyrim, and the caption under it is the All-Father. And on the right is Final Fantasy, the stalwart ally. And on the left is Elder Scrolls Online, the goofy younger brother.
Yeah.
Goofy older brother.
I didn't get into that one.
Yeah, Elder Scrolls Online's weird. But when you get into it, it's like you're into it. Anyway, that's how I go from Skyrim to Final Fantasy to ESO to Skyrim. It will always be that way. Anyway, I'm getting off on a tangent.
No, that's what this is.
So Starfield, I played it. I had a small amount of hype, not a lot. because I was just really hesitant. And so my dad got it, and my sister and I sat down and played it. Ooh, boy. Just not great from the start. Bethesda, in the Elder Scrolls games as well as Fallout, they're known for these really big cinematic introductions where you leave your tutorial area and you come into the big wide world. And it's always jaw-dropping. In Oblivion, you stepped out of the sewers, and this valley was, and a lake was all before you. There was a ruin in the distance. In Skyrim, you step out of a cave, and the mountains, are going off into the distance, and there's a dragon flying over your head.
The expansiveness.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try this again. It's the expansiveness, but also the immersiveness of Oblivion and Skyrim, where you are so just enthralled and enthused.
Always want to
play
see
this game. You want to see the next thing.
Exactly.
What is this next big, eye-opening, just jaw-dropping thing?
No.
And you didn't get that.
No, you didn't. Fallout 3 is another example. You get out of the vault, you see the wasteland before you, megatons in the distance. But yeah, you don't get that with Starfield. Starfield, you come out of a mine, and there's a ship landing, and there's a big old dust cloud, and that's about it. Then you get attacked by pirates. The AI is shit. And the pirates will kind of do this thing where they shoot. And they step to the left. And then they shoot. It's a really hard fight. So I played past the tutorial. I got to a moon where I went looking for something. I just went exploring at this point. And we're running around on the planet, me and my sister are playing. And we find a ship, just a random ship, and that had landed on the moon. And so we're like, sweet, let's go check the ship out. Go inside, and nobody says, hey, what are you doing in my ship? No NPCs. There's NPCs in the ship, but they don't say this. They just kind of like, okay, there's a dude in our ship. They don't even acknowledge you.
Yeah.
So I'm walking around, and I'm trying to talk to them, and they're just like saying just totally nonsense stuff. Just like, oh, can't believe what the UCS is doing to the XYZ, just doesn't make sense. Yeah. And so then I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to shoot at one of them and see what they do.
I'm here to steal your shit.
Yeah. So I start shooting, and they're like, and they freak out. And I'm shooting for a while, and then they start fighting back. The whole experience was just so clunky, and again, back to the shoot once, step left, shoot again. So it was just really clunky, and it's made me come to the point where I'm like, all right, I think I'm going to have to give Bethesda the long goodbye here, because after Fallout 76 and Redfall, which I don't think was directly produced by Bethesda, but they produced it, but they weren't the developer. And now this, I'm just like, dude, I don't even know if I care about Elder Scrolls 6 anymore.
I tried to play devil's advocate with this and be like, maybe they're putting so much focus and attention into Hammerfell that they just kind of like, we just need to get these out of the way. Because I was hoping with the...
Yeah, but they hyped up Starfield so much.
I know.
So much.
Like I said, I'm trying to play.
No, I appreciate that you are.
Because with the purchase from Microsoft, we're like, oh my gosh, you're going to get so many more.
Yes, Microsoft's going to, try to incentivize them to get some games out. Yeah.
Hasn't happened.
No, it hasn't. And now the rumor is that Microsoft is going to basically start making their games available cross-platform. So that'll be interesting to see. And I mean, specifically, they were talking about games that would have been exclusives.
Yeah.
So there's a chance Elder Scrolls 6 will be available on PlayStation.
I don't know how they would do that though, because PlayStation is still owned by Sony.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't understand the vagaries of any of that. So if anybody does, please feel free to tell us, because I don't understand the relationship there. My thought process that would be that Sony would be fine. I mean, because it's they're going to reap some of that reward. I would think. I don't know. I don't understand that relationship. But yeah, I don't know. I found Starfield to be really not worth the money. And then you turn around and you play a game like FF16, and I'm like, okay, this is just like the narrative is very important, and the battle is fun, the fighting system is fun, the NPCs are really interesting. So anyway, yeah, I'm afraid of. I mean, I won't be able to play Elder Scrolls 6 anyway, because I definitely will not have a PC strong enough to play it, and I won't have an Xbox. So I don't know.
Well, and I'm curious because they said it won't come out until the new console of Xbox.
Are you serious?
And and I have an Xbox One S1, 1S, 1X, something. I have the newest Xbox.
Okay.
And it's not going to be on that.
That's insane.
It's coming out on whatever the next Xbox is.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Where'd you hear that?
That was on their website. Fuck. So because the next new Xbox, whatever they're going to call it.
This is the kind of shit I'm talking about.
Oh, it's next year, 2025. Yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, so with going with that and the tradition or the downfall of gaming, I need to go over to my backpack real quick because I forgot my book. I wrote down a list of games, and just games that I used to play with friends, console, link, all that fun stuff. And I need to grab that real quick.
One thing I will say.
Go ahead.
So in regard to Starfield and the NPCs, are we doing okay on time?
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I have a feeling this is going to be one of those ones where we have to check ourselves because we're going to get on tangents. But
we got about 35 minutes.
Bethesda knows how to, all their NPCs are always kind of janky. But you know what? Oblivion, okay. Everybody makes fun of the Oblivion NPCs. I saw mud crab today.
Yeah.
Horrible creatures. Goodbye. But you know what? Those guys were entertaining as hell.
Yes, they were.
And secondly, they all had their own schedules, man. Like sometimes you would be sent on a quest to like steal a ring from the Countess, and you get to her castle, and she's not fucking there.
Yep.
She's visiting her mom.
Yep.
On the other side of Cyrodiil. Like it was a cool system. And then they dumbed it down a bit with Skyrim, although the Skyrim NPCs were pretty good.
Yeah, no, they're pretty good. I feel like there was a lot less bugs and crashes with Skyrim because
Yes.
there were some NPCs I'd interact with and the game would freeze.
Oh, in Oblivion?
In Oblivion,
Yeah,
yeah.
Oblivion had some problems.
Yeah.
But anyway, when I get to Starfield, I'm just like, it makes me like, where's Skyrim? Like, somebody please give me a copy of Skyrim right now because I can't do this a minute longer. Sorry.
No, you're good. So I'm gonna skip the first half of these because one day I wanted us to have like a gaming episode.
Just a full-on
gaming episode. So I went through and started like writing down games that I played and just how much fun that I had. So
some of these we've talked about before as well.
Yeah, some of these we've talked about before, but I'm gonna start with GoldenEye.
Okay.
Like I was in high school, I was either a junior or a senior in high school when GoldenEye came out, and my buddy John got it before any of us. And remember going over to his house to play GoldenEye for the first time.
Oh man.
Blew my mind.
Oh, yeah.
4 players on one screen. What? That's totally new and different. Don't be looking at my screen to see where I'm at. And just, even though it was the whole cubics animation, everything was square.
For the time.
One of the best games.
Yeah.
One of the best games.
Yeah.
And because I'd drive my parents crazy. But please let me go to John's house tonight. I want to play GoldenEye. I think they bought it for us so we would just, shut up. Yeah. But no, that was one of the greatest games to be able to sit and play. And once we figured out we could link systems, his younger brother also had an N64, so he would sit upstairs, and him and his friends would sit upstairs, and we'd be downstairs, and it'd be 4-on-4. Or
I didn't know you could do that
3-on-3.
on the
Yeah,
64.
depending on where you how many people were there. So, and that was so much fun.
GoldenEye was incredible. My first memory of that game was, I think, as most of my memories are with early 64 games, my friend Taylor, whose parents just kind of let him do whatever he wanted, they got him GoldenEye, and I had this. I know my dad very well, so if I wanted something, and I knew it was something that would impress him, I would say, "Dad, let's go over to Taylor's. You gotta see this game he got." And my dad would see it and be like, "Oh my God, the graphics!" Like he would just freak out. So Taylor got GoldenEye, and it wasn't too much longer before I got GoldenEye. And man, that game, I'm telling you, that game is fantastic. The opening, the facility stage, dude.
Yeah. Facility stage, but also like Temple, a Man with a Golden Gun.
Yes.
Because there was a lot of hidden areas, and if you were playing with
That
somebody...
was like a bonus stage, wasn't it? Or
yeah. Like if you were playing with somebody that had never played the game before...
Yeah. Oh, you could
be like, I got you. Bitch.
Temple was great.
Yeah. The
Complex was a fun one.
Complex, the Dam.
The Dam.
Those were all great.
Yeah.
So, but no, that was one of them. And then I got a whole bunch listed here. Halo 3. We've discussed this before.
Yes.
Playing Halo 3. Me and my roommate and his girlfriend at the time played Halo 3 religiously. We played it all the time. We were at work. We'd come home from work. We may change out of our clothes. We may not. And we would start playing Halo 3. And we would play for hours. And it would just be like, oh, it's 3 a.m. We got to go back to work in a couple hours. We should go to bed.
Yeah.
And it was just, we were so immersed in playing Halo 3 because it wasn't open world, but it was open to the world. And you were playing with people from everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, you could see how many people were online, and it'd be like 1.3 million people playing.
Good God.
And it was just, it was interesting to think, who was I playing with?
Have you ever heard the story of the final people to play on Halo Reach Online? You should look it up. It's really interesting. These guys, so the servers were being shut down for Halo Reach, which Halo Reach enjoyed some like level of success. People were pretty happy with that game. And it had a pretty strong, group of online players. And so these guys realized, oh shit, we're the last like live game right now. And so they just kept playing, and they just started shooting into the sky, and they just kept going, and they kind of had this send off. It's really cool, and you can like look it up on YouTube.
We'll have to look that up.
Yeah, it's really cool, and that's interesting. A long goodbye. To see when any massive multiplayer game like that has a shelf life. There's going to be a point where those servers get turned off, which we're long past with Halo 3. But yeah, it's always something to bear in mind. I'm not as much of a competitive online player, but I like to watch. Like I'll sit here and watch Walsh play Fortnite and stuff. It's entertaining to me to see that. But Fortnite will be forever though.
Yeah, it will, because it's cyclical. It keeps going. It'll refresh. It'll just never die. And I'm okay with that. But then there were others that came after that. The Call of Duties, the Black Ops 1, the Black Ops 2. Black Ops 2 was the kind of the pinnacle.
Modern Warfare 1's the only one that I played, but I really enjoyed it.
I liked 1. 2 was better.
I've heard that. Angela was obsessed with 2. Like she played it religiously.
2 was great. And then Black Ops came out, and then I'm going to get the timeline right. Black Ops came out, and then Modern Warfare 3, and then Black Ops 2 came out. And 2 had an update in graphics. It had an update in gameplay. It had an update in everything. It had different modes. And I don't know. I'm spitballing. I'm just going to throw this out. It was one of the first games that had like, hey, here's 15 different ways that you can play.
Okay.
Pick and choose your battle.
Like game modes?
Game modes.
Yeah.
And going through and, oh gosh, what was the name? What was it called? The one I played the most was when you killed somebody, they dropped a dog tag. Mm-hmm. So you had to go collect
like a confirmed kill.
Confirmed kill, yeah. And I played confirmed kill all the time.
Okay.
A lot of people liked, capture the hill, things like that. But I played confirmed kill. That was my bread and butter because you got points for the kill, but you also got points for collecting the dog tag. So you'd be able to get to your UAVs, your artillery drops, whatever your next level of advancement was. And I would just smoke people. Shane and I used to play all the time.
Let me ask you this. So with a game like Halo 3 or Call of Duty series, where you are playing online against other people. Now, what is it about that you think is not the same as like with a game like Fortnite, for example?
Well, because with GoldenEye, it was all of us kind of local play with each other.
Right.
With Halo, it was me and you, or me and Alex, or me and Alex and Nicole, or me.
There was just having your friends there.
Having your friends there with you in the same room. The original Modern Warfare, I played, me and Ryan and some other people played in the same room. Now, we played people on the other side of the world, but we were in the same room.
Sure. Okay.
And so you kind of miss that level of camaraderie of being like, we're on the same screen, same room. Yeah, the picture's a little bit smaller, but just being together.
Okay.
And playing together, and you're either playing, to accomplish the same goal, whether it was capture the hill or the one that you had to detonate the bomb or whatever. You were playing together, and you got to experience it together. So you live together, you die together. It was just a different experience. And now I sound hypocritical saying I want to sit at home with my VR headset and my omnidirectional floor,
go to the Oasis. But, I do miss that. Yeah.
I do miss that. And
sure. Well, I think some of that is just, getting older. I feel like because you just obviously we're both in this stage where we have kids, and you just.
True, but none of the games that I currently have we can play together at the same time on the same screen.
Fair point. Yeah, because the first thing I was comparing this to was Fortnite, and yeah, you're right. You can't do that. That's a good point. Yeah.
So you have to watch me play, or I have to watch you play. We can't play it together and have the same experience.
Yeah.
Unless we hooked up another television, you brought your...
Sure, and I brought my TV over or something. Yeah, that would... You go into a very difficult way of having to do things.
Yeah.
Man, that's a good point.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, I really missed that. So, I was looking to see if there was anything else that was... Mario Party. The original Mario Party on Nintendo 64.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that was fun, too.
I had my best friend, when I was a kid, had Mario Party, and every time I went to his house, I'm like, dude, you got to bust out the Mario Party. And he would be like, dude, I am so tired of this game. I don't care.
Yeah.
I want to play it.
Yeah. No, there was a lot of... So, games like that where you just never got tired of it. And even one of the best games, bar none, I don't care, Ocarina of Time.
Well, of course. Yeah, absolutely.
The first game I ever played of Ocarina of Time was at my friend's house, and I fell in love.
Mods, dude, Ocarina of Time, they're still making mod expansions for that game.
Yeah.
To this day. It's crazy. Sorry about that. They just released one. Like, it just came out. I want to say like 6 months ago. So, it's still got a very active fan base, which is nice. No, amazing game.
But there was a point that I was going to make with that, but I don't remember what it was. Oh, that was a one-player game, but I would watch my friend play that game, and I was involved in the game.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, and so, okay, I'm going to piggyback on Resonant Arc a bit because they discussed this, how, single-player games, that's, in some ways, it's kind of, in the AAA industry, it's kind of a dying art. Because the AAA industry doesn't see the return on investment on single-player games as opposed to massive multiplayer games, like live service games.
True.
And so you see that kind of dwindling. But there was something about that era of single-player where, you didn't really... The internet was still kind of young, and, game walkthroughs weren't entirely a thing quite yet. Like, they were happening, but it wasn't what it is now, where you can just hop on YouTube and watch somebody play the game.
True.
So, for example, with Ocarina of Time, there were a lot of stories about things that you could do in the game that weren't necessarily true, but they just somehow, there were rumors that got spread throughout the middle school or the elementary school, the postman who's always running around, you can actually beat him in a race. No, you can't. Yeah. You can't beat the guy. The computer will not allow it. There's stuff like that's gone now.
There's a 20-pound fish in the lake.
Yeah.
No, there's not.
No, it's gone now. So kids don't. I feel like they're not going to. Oh, please, man. That's why. Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to have some in a minute too. That era's dead now, and it saddens me because anytime somebody wants to tell a little fib like that,
they just Google it.
Just Google it. It's gone.
Or they ask her.
Yeah. There was a great one. Pokemon Red and Blue. If y'all ever played those games,
still have it.
There was a rumor about Mew's in the game, which no, he wasn't. If you go to one of the cities, I can't remember the cities. If you go to one of the cities, Mewtwo was in the game.
Mewtwo was in the game.
Yeah, but Mew, I don't think Mew was. Somebody please correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not a huge Pokemon guy, but I played the first game. But there was a rumor when I was a kid. Oh, if you go to the truck in such and such city, and there's a way you can move the truck, underneath the truck, Mew's just hanging out. Everybody believed this rumor, and I saw it get repeated on Resonant Arc's channel. I felt so vindicated. I cannot begin to tell you. I was like, thank God I'm not the only person at the time in Jackson, Mississippi who had heard this rumor. But it saddens me, even from a single player standpoint, that kind of myths about games and things you can do and how you can push the boundaries and stuff. I feel like that's not a thing anymore.
Now see, I'm going to piggyback off that.
Okay.
There was a rumor that was true. If you were trading a Pokemon, you hooked up to the link and you had the actual cord between the Game Boys.
And you did a trick with it.
Trade. If you shut yours off mid-trade, you kept your Pokemon, but they still got it. And so that was always fun to
gaming the system.
Yeah, gaming the system. So my brother had one as well, so we would trade Pokemon back and forth. I got to let my dog and she's having a panic attack. So you'll probably see our special guest.
She's going to make I will say, it's been awesome having like all the guests we've had on. Hey, girl. But it's been good to have a broadcast, man. It's been a minute.
It's been a minute.
Been a minute, dude. Freaking broadcast.
Well, and there, yep.
And Ahsoka's going to be the guest today.
Yeah. This is my 7-month-old, 2/3 Husky, 1/3 Malamute. She is a sweet pain in the ass, but I love her. So she is so smart, but so stubborn. I love Huskies. That's my breed. I've had Huskies my entire life, so never going to change. I'm a creature of habit. So
I hear you.
Hey, will you please get down? Thank you. You can come pester me, but you know, he's got dogs too. They're going to be concerned when they go home smelling like you.
I think they figured it out by now. They're like, okay, this is just going to be a regular thing. But yeah, so one thing I'll add, coming from the single player perspective, the single player games are not quite the same. Final Fantasy 16 did kind of give me a lot of hope because I haven't finished it yet. I'm like right close to the end, but I've got 85 hours in this game, which
that's pretty good.
That's more, or yeah, that's. I'm not going to say this properly. I'm getting a God. The game was $70, and I've gotten more than 70 hours of entertainment out of it. Yeah. I'm very happy with that ratio. So, you know, that's brought me some hope. And also, like there's a lot of games that look pretty interesting that are coming out. Black Myth Wukong or whatever that game's called. I'll show you a video of it. You heard of it?
Nope.
Okay, it looks really cool. It looks pretty freaking wild. Unreal Engine 5 on that game.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. So I'll show it to you later. So yeah, I mean, is it going to be the same as it was when we were all young? No, it's not. But, you know, there's always hope.
Well, it's like, you know, we didn't know we were in the golden age of video games until we were in the gold. Oh, another one. I'm going to throw this out there. It was a wrestling game. NWO versus WCW, the wrestling game. Because you could play 4-player on that. That was a great game because that was kind of in the height of
that era. What was that era of wrestling?
Well, for WWF, they called it the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
Yeah, for WCW, I don't remember what it was called, but it was very much.
Yeah, when I was in middle school, I remember it was the Attitude Era, and everybody was.
Yeah.
That was Goldberg's era, right?
Yeah, it was Goldberg. Yeah, he was WCW. Sting. He was the Black Sting. He was the Goth Sting. So.
Don't lick the microphone, girl.
I promise she's my dog, but whenever we have a guest over, she is all about the guest because apparently I don't give her any love or attention, which is not true. She lives in between my feet. So, the next section I kind of wanted to do because I know we're running close on time is just new movies, books, etc.
I have answers for these.
Let's do it.
Okay, so movies. I watched. I know you're not a Dungeons and Dragons fan. You should watch Good God! You should watch Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. It is so entertaining. It's one of the most fun, just kind of not mindless, but it kind of just fun. It's just fun, man. Yeah. It's like the first Mummy movie. It's just
That's a great movie.
Yes, it's just fun and entertaining, and every second of it is no second is wasted. Are we all right on time?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's my movie recommendation. I just watched that recently. It's been out for a bit, but it was a blast. Books. I don't have any new books. I'm actually trying to get back into reading, and I'm rereading Beowulf right now with Jake. Yeah, and it's been really good. I forgot. The translation I'm reading is excellent. Music. I'm in a metal phase right now. Elder has long been my favorite metal band. You Got Me, my favorite Elder record on vinyl. I don't know if you remember this. Lore.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, incredible album. But that album's from 2015. Check out Lore. It's amazing. It's probably their best record, but also their latest record is very good. Innate Passage, and it's Elder's. If you're not into metal, Elder's a great band for you to check out because they're kind of on the borderline between progressive rock and metal, progressive metal. So a lot of epic, long form songs. It would be a good Skyrim soundtrack if you want to err on the side of heavy music. So yeah, those are my 3 for those.
Okay. Well, for movies, I wish I could tell you about it, but I haven't watched it yet. I wanted to watch The Creator.
Yes.
It's on Amazon or Hulu now, and it's on Hulu. So I'm gonna
it's on Hulu. Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna watch that as soon as I can because that's one I wanted to catch in theaters, and I just we missed it. We saw Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
Which was great.
Oh yeah, amazing.
but I miss the creator, so I want to watch that. The Northman.
Yes, Northman.
I wanted to watch
That's
that.
been out for a while.
I know. I missed it.
When did that come out? 2023?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you see it yet?
No.
No.
I've heard it's great.
Yeah, I want to watch that one. So they're not new, but I want to watch them.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of new books on my bedside table, which probably you all won't be interested in. They're all wolf related, about different wolves in Yellowstone. There's different wolf watchers or biologists that are assigned certain wolves, and they follow them for years at a time and just document their life. So for me, it's interesting. It's fascinating. Not for a lot of people, but so I've got a couple of those on my bedside that I got for Christmas and my birthday that I need to start and finish. I've also got some Star Wars books that I have not finished yet.
Nice.
The last 2 Thrawn books that I have not finished, and we're at the point that I don't think anyone's really watching it that there's any concern with my new job title. I used to get an actual lunch break.
Oh, right. You used to read on your lunch break. I was thinking about this today. I was like, I haven't heard Walsh talk about a whole lot of literature lately.
I don't get to read on my lunch break anymore.
Yeah.
I don't get to take an actual lunch break anymore. I still clock out, but I'm still replying to emails. I'm still filling out some sort of document. I'm still doing something. But I'm not really doing my full job.
Okay.
But I'm still sitting at a computer typing. So, I used to have 30 minutes a day dedicated to reading.
Sure, yeah.
That I don't have anymore.
That's how I've been able to do Beowulf. I've been reading during lunch.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't have that.
That sucks.
And I kind of feel like annual reviews are coming up soon. I kind of feel like bringing that up.
I was going to say, do you have to be productive you have to do that?
We are so busy.
Yeah. If you don't do it,
I'm going to be behind.
Sure. Okay. That sucks.
Yeah, so it's a catch-22. Like, I could. And there's been some days I've just went and sat in my truck and just listened to music.
Yeah.
Just to get out of the office.
Yeah.
And for music, right now, I'm still listening to Cody Jinks. He's probably one of my newer favorites for the past 3 or 4 years. I've been really big on Cody Jinks. But Shane Smith and the Saints.
Yeah.
Man, I've been hitting them hard.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be at Bourbon Festival in Kentucky, in Louisville, Kentucky, in September. I'm hoping that someone else might.
It's not going to happen. My money is so tight right now.
I'm going to beg and plead, but I'm going to be at Bourbon Fest in Louisville, Kentucky.
I would love to go, but my budget is so tight right now.
Cody Jinks is going to be there. Shane Smith and the Saints is going to be there.
Yeah, it's a good lineup. It's a killer lineup.
My wife's favorite band, Kaleo, they're going to be there. Whiskey Myers.
Hell, I'd enjoy seeing Kaleo. Icelandic artists are really interesting to me.
Oh, they're great.
Yeah, they're just the way they approach music is really different, Yeah.
Well, and the funny thing is, I actually enjoy when they sing in Icelandic versus when they sing in English.
Yeah, I do too.
Which is the opposite of my wife.
Oh, yeah?
She's like, I don't understand them.
Who cares?
And I'm like,
Icelandic artists, Kaleo.
Learn the language.
Kaleo, Sigaros, and Rokuro. They're all fantastic.
I don't know that one.
Rokuro's fantastic. I'll play a Rokuro song later.
Okay.
They're amazing. Female vocalist, and she has a beautiful voice. Sings only in Icelandic. She doesn't sing in English.
Really?
It's gorgeous music.
Now, that's a little odd for you, listening to a female.
I know it's not. I don't talk about female artists that much, which I need to more. Because I'm always, actually, to be honest with you, I'm on the hunt. I've always been on the hunt for a great female-fronted rock band. I have found some. One of them is Royal Thunder. The name of the female lead in that band's Melanie Parsons. She is fantastic. And their first album, CVI, is wonderful. Check that album out if you want some heavier music.
So
it kicks ass.
111? 106?
I thought about that. I don't know.
Yeah.
106? Yeah, CVI, 106. Okay, yeah. So that album kicks ass. It really, truly does. And a band I've been listening to lately that's on the heavier end is Stygian Crown, metal band. They're just straight up heavy metal. It's kind of like death metal with a little bit of doom influences.
He finds these more obscure artists.
Yeah, I get really into the dirt.
And then he forwards them to me, and then I kind of fall in love with them. I have never heard of this one.
They're not bad. They're good. They're good. I don't know if it's for me, but it's good music. Yeah. The record's great.
For an example, Culture Wall. I had no idea who that was. He was like, dude, you gotta listen to Culture Wall. I love Culture Wall. Dude.
I don't know that you would feel this way about Stygian Crown. But still, it's a good band. If you're into metal, if you're into death metal or doom, it's a good band.
You get down.
Anyway.
Yeah, because there's a lot of female lead bands that Hi. Speaking of females. Hi. Yes. Oh, yes. Evanescence. I've been a long-time fan of Evanescence. She kind of upset me last time I saw her in person, but that's okay.
Oh, yeah.
Can I help you?
Flyleaf.
Hailstorm. Love that. There was another one I had. Joy Williams from Civil Wars.
Yeah.
Really enjoy her. So I feel like I've, maybe not on here, but I've been more vocal about, there's some female artists that just really kill it in kind of the rock or indie rock. Can you get down? Hey, listen. You're kind of you're interrupting.
She reminds me so much of Clyde, my dog. He's the same way.
So stay down. But Shane Smith and the Saints, they just dropped a new album. The headlining song of that is called Adeline. If you haven't listened to that, go listen to that. They just dropped a music video today for that album as well, for Adeline. So go listen to that. I'm one album behind. Hummingbird is currently my favorite song by them, but they've got a whole plethora. They typically play in the South. They're from Texas. They do a lot of Texas. So them being in Kentucky, I was like, I have to go.
Yeah.
I have to go.
Yeah.
So, Bourbon Fest, Louisville, Kentucky. Movies, music, books. I think I've covered it all.
Nice.
Have you covered?
I think I'll throw one more book out there, or one more author. I'm just a big fantasy fan in general. Just because I studied literature in college and mostly focused on the modern and postmodern eras, and I had my fill of that. I still do like to revisit Cormac McCarthy, William Faulkner, but beyond that, I'm not really interested anymore. I just want to be entertained by a well-written story now. Brandon Sanderson, you've probably heard of him if you're into fantasy. If you haven't, check out Brandon Sanderson. His stuff is incredible, incredibly well-written. He's really big on, obviously with magic's always a big part of fantasy stories. Tolkien had a soft magic system where the rules weren't always super clear about how magic worked. It was more, kind of mystical, Mm-hmm. Sanderson's really into hard magic systems, and they have really, it's very important to him that he makes the rules clear on why certain things happen.
Yeah.
And he is very good at communicating that. So, and he uses it as a tool to make his characters really interesting. So, highly recommend Brandon Sanderson. Check him out. But yeah, I think that's about it. That's the only other book.
You know, one of my biggest grievances with the Lord of the Rings films is
what?
When the Witch King breaks Gandalf's staff.
Yeah.
That staff was gifted to him by Galadriel. And at that point in time where he becomes Gandalf the White, he is technically, if you're looking point for point, he is stronger than Galadriel.
Yeah. By far.
By far. And he's given this mystic staff from Galadriel. The Witch King of Angmar is a man.
Yeah.
He shouldn't be able to break that staff.
Because Gandalf is he's a Maiar.
Yeah,
so it's like, dude, are you kidding me right now?
So in the movie to have him like trim, like,
yeah.
He could have just been like,
yeah, but that's the interesting thing, though. Gandalf has the power to do these things, but yet he never does. And it's a willful decision to not do that. I think because he wants the people around him to do things for themselves.
But in the books, he would be like, I am Mithrendi of the Maiar. And people would be like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
In the movie, they had him cowering in fear of the Witch King.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I'm like, okay, one, that didn't happen. And two, no. So just thought I'd share that. But again, those movies were really good.
Oh yeah, the Lord of the Rings movies. I mean, despite any of the few changes, they're perfect.
No Tom Bombadil.
Also the ghost soldiers. The men of you know where I'm getting at. The men that Aragorn calls on. Mm-hmm. They never even reached the Battle of Pelennor Fields. They just stopped at
They stopped at the shores.
Yes,
and they were like, we're good.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So there's a few changes there, but anyway, those movies are incredible. But I will say, if you're looking for good fantasy movies, And, obviously, really the only options are Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit and maybe Conan the Barbarian. That one's still good. The new Dungeons and Dragons movie is a blast. Dude, you should watch it. I really think you'll dig it, man.
Think so?
I really do. It's just fun. Just turn your brain off and enjoy it. Chris Pine's the lead, man. And he's a blast.
So I read the Rotten Tomatoes on it, and people were shitting all over Chris Pine.
Were they?
Yeah.
Dude, I thought he was fantastic. I thought he was great. I thought he was a lot of fun. He played your kind of stereotypical rogue. He was a kind of a bit of a con man, but you still liked him,
But at the same time, I don't really ever listen to Rotten Tomatoes. Typically, if Rotten Tomatoes says it's bad, I'm like,
yeah,
okay, I'm probably gonna like it.
Right, exactly. So I recommend that for sure. But yeah, anything else we want to touch on?
No, I'm hoping that I'm going to fast forward here. I'm hoping that by the time that Blade Show in Atlanta comes around, we have some more or new modded knives, and that we'll be carrying them at Blade Show Atlanta. So please come and see us.
Did you pour something in here?
I did. That way we could say cheers because I knew the end was coming.
Oh well, let me. Okay.
I say please come and see us, Blade Show Atlanta.
Yes.
2024. We will be there Saturday. As far as I know.
Unless I have to work,
unless
which
somebody
is
has
very,
to work.
very unlikely, but it's a possibility.
But we'll be there Saturday, hopefully.
Yeah.
Look for the hats.
Yeah.
And if you'd like a poker chip, just ask for
it. We got them.
But hopefully we'll be carrying some modded knives. I hope there's some new knives.
Oh, we'll definitely be carrying some modded knives for sure.
Yeah, that weren't. Or I hope there's some knives that weren't shown at Texas that just kind of blow us away.
There will be. There will be.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the experience is going to blow us away.
Oh yeah.
How are we on time?
I have no idea.
You have no idea? No. It's going to let us know.
It's going to let us know.
Okay. The experience is going to blow us away in and of itself.
Yeah.
And to me, the big thing, I want to see what the Chinese makers have, just because at this point, if I'm being totally honest, I can afford the Chinese makers, and they're doing really good stuff. Artisan is probably one of the big ones I'm going to check out. We, of course, I love we. Rayot maybe, but Rayot's prices have been creeping up.
It's kind of late in the video, but I would like to plug Primo.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. They're going to be there.
Yeah, Primo's going to be there. We'll probably hang around Primo. Come see us there. Come
Hell
meet
yeah,
John.
we'll hang around Primo. John Cameron, I think, will probably be there too.
Yeah.
I don't know if Kate will be there, but she's John's kind of other half, and she helps with the channel and stuff. And Primo is going to be there for sure. So yeah, we'll definitely be hanging out their table. Yeah,
we'll be there, and somewhere between there and SMKW, and then just kind of milling about. And
hopefully, I'm sure we'll see Greg there probably. Yeah. But I guess one thing I want to say as we close out. I know that the theme today was a little morose, not morose, somber.
Somber.
Yeah. But I'm always hopeful for the future, and having a long goodbye to something that you kind of realize is not the same as it used to be. Doesn't necessarily mean that something new and exciting might not spring from that.
You mean like Knox Knockmont?
So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens with the future about anything on this list. Anything you want to add to that?
No, I may just have a separate channel where I'm on an omnidirectional floor with a VR headset, just mowing people down. But
what would be the first game? The first game you would play would be Fortnite.
I don't know. It depends on what games are available on that platform.
Just in an ideal world where any of the games that you play regularly are available.
Titanfall.
Ooh, yes.
I would love to have Titanfall.
Fuck yes.
In that platform.
Yes.
I used to wreck.
Good answer.
I used to wreck people on Titanfall. So.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Skyrim. It would have to be Skyrim for me, which you can play now, but
or Hammerfell.
My hopes are not high.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
But could you imagine playing that with the VR on the omnidirectional floor and you're actually walking through the dungeon?
My theory on what Todd Howard had in mind is that if you look at The Witcher 3, that game involved you could sail to places. There was a mainland. So I think what's going to happen with Elder Scrolls 6 unless they just fuck the pooch on this, It's going to be all of Hammerfell and all of High Rock, and you can sail between the two of them. That's my theory. But again, it's the way things have been going with Bethesda. Who knows?
Yeah.
So I'm feeling ornery today, man. The cursing is just, I've let it go. It's been one of those days.
Well, there's a difference between ornery and hateful. And
no, I don't mean it from
I'm
the
hateful part. So, but no, I think that pretty much wraps it up. I think we're going to be just shy.
We're clocking in here.
We're clocking in.
Well, guys, thank y'all so much for joining us. It was good to just do a broadcast. You know, it's as much as I love having guests on. We've had some awesome guests. It's good to just have one where we can just shoot the shit for a little bit.
Yeah.
Guys, thanks so much for watching. We hope to see y'all soon. In a few months, maybe at Blade Show or just wherever. Until then, I've been Enzo. This is Wolfman Walsh. We are Knox Knife Mods and also the Bourbon Blades podcast.
That's true.
We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Take care.